Welcome to part 1 of our 5-part video series where I show you how money works. Hello, in this video I will introduce you to a best-selling book that you must read and I'll give to you for free. Also, Albert Einstein wants you to know that this is the greatest mathematical discovery of all time. Today I'll show you a little bit about how money works because your school didn't teach you this, so let's go.
More than 5 billion people around the world continue to struggle with money and financial illiteracy.
It's Madison Avenue manipulation, right? It's been going on for years and we buy into it.
How bad is financial illiteracy?
It's not taught in school, so people don't know this naturally.
Oh, you're right.
So you grow up not knowing anything about it. You make a lot of mistakes along the way, and we're hoping to educate them and teach them how money really works so they can learn the cause and effect of all this.
And it doesn't have to be generational.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly right.
Break that cycle.
Once you understand the basics of financial literacy, it changes your life. The secret is financial literacy. I mean, teaching your kids how money works. I think it's really understanding how money works. Once they understand the basics of how money works, they shouldn't have to struggle for very long.
Steve Siebold and Tom Matthews are the authors of How Money Works. Stop being a sucker.
Money means possibility. It means opportunity. It means freedom. Things you've always wanted to do, dreams that you have. Money makes it possible.
You know, of all the interviews we've had in the last 6 weeks, I'm actually most encouraged by that one.
My name is Jackson and I'll be your financial educator for this session. This course is based on the groundbreaking book called How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker, now with over 600,000 copies in print. How Money Works is the first financial education book that anyone at any age can enjoy and benefit from ages 10 all the way to age 100. And speaking of the number 100, the book has now been featured on over 100 prominent TV shows, including CNBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, and CTV News in Canada. This How Money Works book has received a rare endorsement from the Heartland Institute of Financial Education, and it's been reviewed and referenced all over the web, including the popular online financial publication Make It by CNBC. You can also follow How Money Works on Instagram for practical tips and helpful resources. If you haven't received a copy of our book yet, don't go to Amazon. Let me know when we finish and we'll make sure you get one. Or you can just watch all 5 of these videos. So this class is titled Foundation, and it's the first of these 5 elements. Our foundation class will help you establish the importance of making your money work for you instead of for someone else. This foundation gives you a solid starting point to build a more secure life filled with confidence and a more financially independent future filled with opportunity. No matter who you are and what your goals are, security and independence are what we all want. So let's begin. You have to face the realities of the world around you before we begin this process. Consider this your reality check, or your How Money Works kick in the pants. Our goal isn't to give you a PhD in finance, but rather teach you the basics you need to know to start making smarter decisions about your money and your wealth with a new sense of urgency. This is that foundation we were never given in school, and it's the push we all need right now. You'll also get to know the cast of characters from the How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker book. If you've read the book, you've already been introduced. Or you can just watch the rest of the videos. Everyone has a favorite or two. Mine is Clark. They're proof that there are no stupid questions when it comes to money. The first choice you have as we begin this course is simple. Will you choose the mindset of a sucker, or will you think like the wealthy? It's a choice. The fact that you've joined the class today is a sign that you're on the right track. Here's the great news. You don't have to be wealthy to think like the wealthy. You only need knowledge. So this is your opportunity to gain that knowledge and mindset. One of America's founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin, once said, "An investment in knowledge pays the best interest." So we salute you for taking the time to learn one of the most valuable life skills that you can develop. You're going to be glad you did. Comedian W.C. Fields once said, "It's morally wrong to allow a sucker to keep his money." Of course he was kidding. It does, however, prove one thing. If you don't understand how money works, you can end up as the butt of someone's joke. And for you, that stops today. We know the word sucker sounds insulting. Unfortunately, that's the best way to describe someone who can be taken advantage of because they don't know how things work. Not knowing how money works does suck. It can suck up your time, suck up your freedom, and suck up your income. That sucks. There's an old saying, what we think about, we bring about. Your financial reality will largely depend on how your mind works when it comes to money. So this class, Foundation, will cover these 3 concepts. Each one is essential to the startup required to begin making financial decisions with confidence and start taking action to get yourself on track with your money. Today, we all know how devastating a global medical crisis can be. Not knowing about money is the economic version of a global crisis, and it affects over 5 billion people in the world who are considered illiterate when it comes to their money. The financial devastation it has caused to individuals all over the world is immeasurable, and some of it is intentional. The financial industry won't be happy we're committed to changing that. If this were 1920, there would still be millions of adults who could not read. Public education over the last 100 years has changed that. These 5 webinars are public education in financial literacy. With these classes, you will learn the building blocks to earn, spend, save, and invest. Just like learning to read, when you know how money really works, it changes how your financial story ends. So when you heard me say over 5 billion people in the world are considered financially illiterate, you probably wonder what that means. So it references the results of a recent global study, and in the study only 30% of the people in the world are considered financially literate. So the study used a simple money quiz to reveal that the vast majority of people from countries around the world were unable to correctly answer a few simple questions about money. So this class will teach you the answers to those questions, and many more. And it's the reason I teach this course, and hopefully it's why you're here. So our nation isn't any better off than the rest of the world. Financial illiteracy is our top economic crisis too. Just look at these numbers. Can you believe that almost half of people don't have enough to cover a $400 emergency, or to make their student loan payments on time, or pay off their credit cards, or even consider retiring? Sarah's right. How these numbers hurt families every day is hard to process. In early 2020, with the number of people on unemployment, stock market volatility, and with so many people impacted, I'm sure the numbers are even worse. But here's the good news for you and everyone who takes this course. With knowledge and action, we can change these numbers. This course is your day 1, a new financial reality, a new financial mindset, and a new financial future. According to the National Financial Educators Council's recent survey, U.S. adults lost an average of $1,200 in 2018 because they didn't know what they were doing with money. 1 in 5 lost $2,500. You know, it's like taking a stimulus check and setting it on fire. Only some states and provinces make you take 1 class on money in high school. And of those that do, they only scratch the surface with topics like balancing a checkbook. Do you think that's enough? Most of our kids think a personal finance course would benefit them the most. It's hard to find one on your own, and that's why we teach this class and give you that book. Or you can watch these webinars. Meet the sucker cycle. It's the trap of foolishly spending and low interest saving that goes on, month after month, year after year, slowly sucking away your potential to be wealthy, free, and in control. Every couple weeks the cycle repeats. Extra trips to the grocery store, unnecessary online purchases, another streaming subscription. Most people know how to earn money and spend it, and that's it. What about all the other options? It's time to break the sucker cycle. Suckers hand their paycheck to someone else who builds their own wealth with the sucker's money. Wait till you see what the numbers look like. Little amounts can add up over time and become big amounts. Check this snapshot from the book. Some of the numbers might be a little different since we're all been staying home, with less on clothing, less on ride shares and coffee and events, but more on takeout, more on subscriptions, and maybe even alcohol. Think of your retirement like an airplane. It needs both wings to fly. Social Security, or CPP, and your 401k or your RRSP, if you have one. That can make up one wing of the income you plan to live on in retirement. The other wing is completely up to you, your responsibility. If you hope to live on at least 70% of your pre-retirement income, you'll need to be serious about what you put away. Your financial professional can help you decide what that number is and where to put it. I'm in conversations like that every day. Let's take a look at how people are doing with their second wing. No matter what generation you're a part of, none of them are saving enough. Remember, the older you are, the less time you have, so you'll need to put more away. Here's an example that'll shine a light on the numbers and the possibility of a savings shortfall. If you don't put enough aside each month at a good enough rate of return, your savings can fall short, putting your retirement income and lifestyle at risk. Depending on your shortfall, you might have to re-enter the workforce, cut back your lifestyle to live on less, or move in with your kids. How does that sound? See the shortfall, the gray area there between what you save and how much you need? It should be the focus of every person and their financial professional to close this gap. So here's what it looks like when you nail it. Close the gap. Retirement savings goal reached. This person will have a reliable income because they saved the amount necessary and got the rate of return necessary to reach the savings required to make the retirement they imagine possible. There could even be money left over to leave as a legacy to the children. How does that sound? You can work with your financial professional to figure out what your numbers need to be. As Steve Siebold said in his book, How Rich People Think, the wealthy think differently than everyone else. Suckers accept their situation. Their thoughts about money center on fear. Their behavior around money centers on foolishness. The wealthy, who face the same reality, choose an alternate mindset. They see money and their future differently. So let's spend a few minutes learning about the power of compound interest. You know, Albert Einstein said that this was the most powerful force he had ever discovered. Compounding is the interest that interest can earn in addition to the interest your savings can earn, or interest on interest, as Zoe puts it. Compound interest leverages the power of exponential growth. This amazing story from the book is about John D. Rockefeller, one of America's self-made billionaires. I'll give you the short version. Rockefeller lent $50 to a farmer at 7% when he was a boy, and he earned $3.50 in interest in addition to getting the amount that he lent him back. During that same time, he earned $1.12 digging potatoes for 3 days. He looked at the $1.12 he earned from the backbreaking work versus the $3.50 his money earned for him. That's when he decided to make his money work harder than he ever could. This is a lesson to never forget. You decide. You'll work for your money limited by time, or your money works for you around the clock without limit and without you. Rockefeller went on to say he had ways of making money most people had no idea about. So we're about to let you in on his secrets. The difference between simple and compound interest is substantial. One stays the same, and one grows and grows. To see the difference, we'll look at two examples of 1,500 growing at 9% over 50 years. With simple interest, the 1,500 grows to 8,000. Not so much over such a long period of time. With compound interest, the 1,500 grows to 132,000 in the same number of years. That's 16 times more money. Notice how the curve of the graph gets steeper in the later years as the power of compounding really takes off. Mr. Einstein also said, compound interest is the greatest mathematical discovery of all time. He obviously thought a lot about many things in his lifetime, and he put the power of compound interest right up there with E equals mc squared. Here's an example of how saving monthly with compound interest can be a game changer. The interest ends up being way more than the amount you saved. The interest in this example is 13 times what you saved alone. Here you can see Rockefeller's secret revealed. Interest earning interest, creating wealth that your savings alone cannot accomplish. Now that you're starting to get the hang of this, you might have a pretty good guess whether $50,000 one time or $500 each month becomes more over 45 years. Both accounts earn 9%. Which do you think will earn more? $500 per month ends up outpacing the one-time sum of $50,000. Even though TJ saved more over time, his account passed Sarah's in this example after only 17 years. The tortoise beat the hare. Slow and steady can win the race. The return you get can make a big difference on how this story turns out. Watch what I mean. 178 saved each month from ages 25 to 67 at different returns creates very different results. Most people don't understand this, which explains why they choose unfortunate places to save their money. The amount per month and the time are the same. The only change is the rate of return. This could mean as much as 797% more money at 9% versus 1%. That's almost $900,000 difference. As you can see, your rate of return could be the defining factor that closes your retirement savings gap or leaves you with a significant shortfall. Focusing on safety alone and ignoring rate of return can be a costly mistake. Wealthy people want their money to work for them as hard as they did working for it. So before we conclude, I want to give you a final piece of the foundation. The reality is that for employees who earn a modest salary or for those who are closer to retirement, the size of your savings may not line up with the dreams you have for the future. If you don't have a big enough paycheck or if you don't have enough time left for the power of compounding, are you out of luck? Or is there another way to create the wealth you need for the lifestyle you want? The answer is there is a way. It's the power of owning a business, otherwise known as entrepreneurship. If your retirement goal is to enjoy a lifestyle of independence, what's more realistic? Saving millions and living off the interest? Or starting a business and living off your income? This concept is called wealth equivalency. Let's compare the two strategies and then you decide which is more realistic for you. Here's how wealth equivalency works. How much would you have to place into an account that earns a 5% annual return to equal the earning power of owning a business? If you earn just $1,000 per month in your own business, that's equal to having $240,000 in a 5% account. Of course, where can you find 5% these days? Not the average bank account. These average 1%, probably less. In an average account, you'd need $1.3 million to pay you the same as what a business that pays you $1,000 per month receives today. Which is more likely to happen first? You keep doing what you do today and earn enough for long enough to save $240,000 or $1.3 million? Or you learn a new business that helps you create $1,000 of monthly income. That's one of the best examples I've seen of how money really works. What if you build your business income up to $5,000 per month? You'd need to have $1.2 million in a 5% interest account to equal the monthly income from your business. You see how it changes the math? That's why you can't become a successful business owner long term without a basic knowledge of money, like we're showing you now. As your business continues to grow, it becomes even more obvious that most people could never save enough to come anywhere close to the earning power of building a business. This is the principle I want you to focus on as you consider exploring the future with me as a How Money Works educator. In addition to teaching people how money works, we teach people how entrepreneurship works so they can really apply this knowledge to building a business that earns far beyond the amount their savings could earn. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your money and income. Here's the outcome of our wealth equivalency exercise. Suckers think having savings is the only way to create the retirement income they want. The wealthy, on the other hand, know that by owning a business, almost anyone has the chance to create an income that's equivalent to having millions saved for retirement. Not enough people think like the wealthy, which brings us to our mission with How Money Works. Our mission is to teach 20 million families how money works within the next decade. We're going to stamp out financial illiteracy in every community. That's a huge undertaking, and one that will require an army of thousands of educators. We're looking for people to help us teach these classes, and that's where you or somebody you know can come in. We're at the end of today's element. Think about which concept resonated with you the most. That's why we started on this mission of eradicating financial illiteracy. This is how you start to take control of your finances. We call it the money discovery. Part of attending this course is we can help you if you don't have a financial professional yet. So this works like driving directions on your mobile phone. 2 points of reference are all you need. Where you are now and where you want to go. The same is true to chart the course for your financial roadmap. The How Money Works Money Discovery in the book can help you take care of that. Please make sure you discuss these concepts and review the milestones with a financial professional, especially if you don't currently have one to turn to. The first of the 7 money milestones is financial education. Since you'll hopefully read the book or watch all 5 videos, you'll be starting down the path of learning how it really works. We can help you walk through the other 6 milestones, and we do that in 2 steps. First is a discovery call. where we'll spend 15-20 minutes identifying where you are now in your financial life, and more importantly, where you want to go. Then our team spends a few days crunching numbers, searching the financial industry for the best products and services to meet your needs, and identifying the ones that best fit your current situation and future goals. Finally, we have a screen share and walk you through the steps we recommend you take to achieve your goals. Don't procrastinate. Build your foundation by putting your money to work today.